Right, let's get this rolling. Freaking hell, today was busy and it's like, it's not even the birthday celebration today. It's tomorrow, but it's just been on off constantly to do something. Oh wait, I haven't actually pulled up the overlay. Nearly forgot that part. Alright, I have like just a couple of minutes before the qualifying session ends completely, which is... I want to get in probably before that happens. Alright. Okay, slightly correct those, I think down. Probably a good idea. Then turn these off. I'll just look over here on the... I'm way down low, I guess. Today. Fix that. Right. Okay, now fix the metal cam. Cable. Come on. Come on, cable. Right, okay, that is working. I just need 2 minutes remaining according to the official broadcast, which I'm tuned in for that purpose, and that purpose alone. Right, where's ACC? ACC, there you are. Hit play. Oh man, I think I don't even have a setup for this track at all. I don't think I've turned a single lamp in practice. I think I've never driven this car on this circuit. At all. It's just, it sucks that I just got so long stuck with them. It's like, it's insane. I've had absolutely no break. Oh yeah, I had breaks, but like, they were like, hey, I wanna catch up a bit on sleep, you know? And then still get interrupted like 5 minutes into sleeping. So it's come on. Quite annoying today. Trackilicious. What was the password again? Password document. That was it. I would have typed something else in. Honestly. And yeah, the even numbers are driving right now, so I can actually, once I get on the server, drive immediately. At least get the car out of the pit lane and move it for a few meters. No, I do actually have fun. That's good. That's actually good. I have a setup. I need to roll out real quick. What do we need to change here? I think these settings are all sensible. Not seeing anything particularly bad. Yeah, we have a car rolling. It's the important part. I just need to, even if my lap gets cut short, I just need to get some driving meters in. And because people have the even numbers out, so I can justify going out at that point. But yeah, that makes it a bit easier if I have something in terms of setup. Probably not that great, but yeah, it's always better than nothing. I mean, at least I have some practice on this track in terms of driving the 4 hours on here. Although that was the Maserati. Yeah, it's flat. It's good setup stuff. At least on this fuel load, which is not quite a full fuel tank. So that's a bit of a bummer. I want to be able to drive out. Didn't need to actually complete the lap. It feels okay, but it's probably not fast. That's just the issue. But whatever. No traffic behind. Actually not quite that much later braking. Thought I could probably brake a bit later. Tire pressures look a bit on the low side. The game actually waited for me to complete the lap. That's interesting. I was not on a valid lap. It still considered me. Right. I'm not even starting last because someone else had just gotten the queue to drop last. Russo dropped the P last. Okay, 6 AM start for the race. It's not quite like the I think 5 AM that they do in real life. Temperature have gone down quite a bit. Let's go to full PSI up, I think, on the tires. I think that is necessary. My tire pressures were already quite low on that lap, but we can't quite fully tell with having driven a single lap. It's a bit of a problem at that point to figure out what it precisely is, the numbers. Close this, we can close this. And let's double check if this is working. Yep, this is working. We need some more fuel. I think we're gonna have to put 110 in the fuel tank for the start. And then we'll figure out what we need for the race. So perhaps actually go another 0.2 up, I think, on the pressures. So yeah, I think I'm gonna keep the rest of the setup same. Just I think we're fine at this point. 3 minutes remaining. I mean, I can actually check how old is this setup for Bentley Bathurst. February last year. Yeah, that's a hot minute old. That's not that new. That's for sure. There's one Honda on the grid up here in the front. What were the lap times actually in qualifying in the end? 2:01.1 was pole time. Not that fast, but I think the track didn't go optimum actually. I don't think it went. There's a people on the 2:06 in the back, but like midfield, there's only 27 cars, so it's not that many making the start here tonight. Again, another series where the participation fell off like off a cliff. I guess that's maybe in part because of what happened last week with Kyalami, like Christ. performance of people there was awful. I mean, maybe we can sneak this to the top 10 finally, but like, it's so far eluded me getting so close even to it, because in cases the pace just wasn't quite there. In Suzuka the pace wasn't there, and I think Hailami I might have actually been able to, but like I just got unlucky. And here we think I can do this. Maybe. If we have to see how the pace works out. Well, there's not much TC, I just noticed on this setup. Maybe up that one click. Just let him check. Let's probably put me already on Twisty. Nope, we don't want Twisty 2, thank you very much. It's appreciated, you're concerned, but I don't want that. Thank you and goodbye.
30 seconds.
Right. Low beams, we don't need high beams. It's more than bright enough. Yeah, that's the few remaining, and this thing can be filled up to 130 at least on dash.
Going single file.
Oh, somebody was just lost there. Just popped out of existence. Bloop. Oh, there's a few people starting from the pits. Sapien starting from the pits for safe Lexus. Been poking too much behind him. Don't need to do that really. Front tire is starting to get up to pressure, but it's not temperature wise. It's a bit concerning. Maybe I've gone overboard with my pressure adjustment. Have to see. Can rein in the pit stop then. The Superman Aston behind me. I'm not really I didn't move the brake bias, so I'm warming more my front brakes. But it seems to be getting pretty evenly applied for the car. Oh, some it's the formation lap and you hit the wall there. It's gonna be interesting actually threading the needle there a bit closer. With this car being right-hand drive. Whatever. Brakes are getting a bit warm. tires, I don't like how high the pressure they are already on formation lap, yeah. Super strange considering they were so low pressure after the... I mean, it wasn't hard lap, so it's like,
Stay double fine.
I think I might have made a mistake on the pressures. Map 1. ABS is set correctly, TC set correctly. We're ready to roll. Okay. Speed limited already before we even get through the final corner.
Go, go, go.
It doesn't matter really.
Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Not really needing to attack here in the beginning. Need to get more ready for the mountain where they start their pile-ups. McLaren is faster than me in a straight line.
Clear on the left.
Okay, the first guy's in the wall there. That's Sky. Mercedes.
Clear on the left.
Yeah, he's not the smartest, clearly. Because there's
Car on
no
the
reason to chop me like that.
Clear on the right.
Okay, they're starting to poke mine me. Trying to go multiple wides. That is a bit silly when you distinctly start from the back. The ping seems a bit awful right now. There's cars are fluctuating in front of me quite a bit around. It seems to be more the two drivers rather than the entire field. But I'm not sure. I don't like it. Okay, in the McLaren behind me, Jesus. Yeah, I've really got actually up the mountain, down the mountain again. Surprisingly enough. I'm more or less one piece. Our pressures are actually now lower than the formation lab.
Yellow flag, be careful.
Oh, come on, dude. Yeah, the Porsche was unpractically parked, but like he slammed the brakes so hard that I nearly ran into them. I ran nearly in the top 20. But I seem to be also running out of pace at this point already, which is very frustrating. That should definitely not happen. Trying to carry a bit more speed into the corners, and the car just did not want to stick to the rear end. There. Slight lift, I think I need to stay fourth there. I think I lack straight line speed a lot against a lot of the opponents here. Bentley bend right in the slipstream of the MUQU, but MUQUs are very fast in the straight line. He's getting still some slipstream from the cars in front.
Slow car ahead. Well done, mate. The fastest step so far.
2:07, that's low as all heck. Yeah, we're in traffic, but like, tatas. MUQU, can we, not MUQU, Beamer, can we eat the Beamer? No, it doesn't seem like that. Even the Beamer pulls away from us. In a straight line. And the MUQU misses the corner again.
Car on the left.
This time around.
Clear on the left.
And he wax out of it, so I buy him already. Probably in part because I was already poking literally in his rear end. Okay, we have a yellow flag ahead. Still don't see the post. There's a yellow flag in sector 2, but I cannot find it so far. It's gone. And the Beamer is gapping me over the mountain here. Yeah, this Bentley's absolutely freaking useless. Pace-wise. Considering I can do 2-minute freeze on race field with Porsche, this is slow AF. I've let so much time to the Beamer on foot. It's really frustrating. Don't even sub 2 minute 5s. Back mark already, and it's the Superman car. It started on the back row with me, except that we're lapping him already. Tire pressures look fine. It's just yeah, the Beamer in front did a 2-minute 5.9. We're on the 2-minute 6s. Oh come on, shitbox. I mean, it was half a second gain just in turn 1 now, but like... the car has no pace, that's the problem. The BOP is garbage. The Bentley is getting mugged again on BOP. Or I don't have a min-max setup, which probably both.
Yellow flag ahead. Watch out in front.
Get this yellow flag, man. Ah, there's the Porsche. Crossing it. You were quite far from the apex there. Good, sir. He heads so fast into that corner, but still carries the speed out of it, which is interesting. It's still 2-minute 5, so bloody awful. That pressure is slightly high. On the top end, I'm capable of keeping up with him. Once we hit VMAX, once we're approaching VMAX, he's not quite capable of keeping up. And he was significantly faster for that chicane. Mine wasn't quite good there.
Gaining on the car heading sector 1. Well done, mate. The fastest step so far.
two guys in front are fighting quite fast. Quite hard.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Going for the dive. Making it stick. Next car like 5 seconds up the road from those guys. I came close, but that guy came closer. Come on. The Audi is bolting, and MUQU must have held them up quite badly.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
The rear tire pressures are high already. Better. Maybe I have to TC one click to help the rear tires. I'd say he had it a bit wide, but he still somehow carried the speed. Yeah, he can just carry more speed out of the corners. He just punches out of them. My car just doesn't have the momentum. I get it to the apex and everything, but it's just he's so much faster out punching out of them. This car just womp goes. Mine just lingers around and just doesn't do anything. Hello, car, would you kindly not kill me? I would gladly appreciate that, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, he's just bolted again. They have so much more punch out of corners than me. Oh, yeah, he's gone. FP14, it has dropped back a bit. The Audi is still just going. So it's running so fast away. I think it's the Bentley problem where just this thing has too much oversteer, so I can't feed the throttle earlier. And everyone else can, however. Because I have to wait for the car to exit the corner to give throttle, but they can just go. Audi just now with an 041. Why he's going. And also the Porsche's gapping me. They handle those 90-degree corners way quicker than me, and I just cannot keep up with that. And here, like, this is just what I dislike with the boat, is like, it enters a slide and it just bleeds all its speed away in the process. You can't slide this car. Yet it wants to constantly slide. Oh, that's too wide away. That's miles of the apex. The lap times are slowly starting to get there. I think it's in part the track rubbering in. And part of my car design to actually go. Problem is my opponents are going faster as well. And I don't have slipstream down to strike straight anymore, which is a massive boom for me. Previously. Yeah, everyone in front of me is faster right now. How the hell is this thing pulling up an entire braking marker suddenly later? Correctly. It is nuts. Yeah, not that fast. 032! Christ, slow down for once. Let us have some too. Bloody Audi driver. Yeah, I feel like this thing has basically peaked at this point. Should have brought a Porsche. I would have been one of the quickest guys on track. I know that already. Because I know how fast the Porsche is. Let's just set that up. This lap is even slower. Come on. Yeah, I noticed the MUQU that I was struggling to get past for a bit is already a lap down as well. Basically anything that's behind me has been lapped nearly. I mean, not quite, but like the only people who are behind me basically can't drive. I think a relatively fair assessment of the problem. Aston has dropped back. I mean, we can still get a few positions out of attrition, but I don't think top 10 is possible. The car's pace is too awful. And it's very clear that just mid-corner this thing doesn't carry its momentum. Hello, could you kindly just take this bloody corner at this point? And not just do whatever the frick you want there. It is so irritating. But this car handles like absolute dog crap for driving for that one corner. Then this has turned into a freeway fight, which means they might hold each other up and they might crash into each other, which is at least something for me, but like, I would like my low 04s again. And not to drop off the cliff pace-wise. Because this thing is slow enough, I don't need drop off additionally. Just hamper me. Please. Okay, out.
There's a slow car ahead.
Ah.
Yellow flag, be careful.
Still brace the wall there. I got my lap time as well. Less than a second worth of damage at least. Afonso. Isn't that the guy who at one point drove a bit of Maserati but never had any pace with it whatsoever? I think it is. Well, I would usually rate it slow as me, but like, nope, he's there P12 going pretty well. Well, I can't even go sub 05 right now again. Stuck in the 5s again. And the advantage is that whatever drops behind me usually is by crash. Or just is slow. Like the 614 Beamer. Yeah, I'm going particularly quick. Slight wobble through that corner just to make the handling shit, and you're not able to accelerate early. Oh, good. Oh, that's not good. Because it bounced mid-corner for no reason. I think I may have grazed the curb, but come on. Now that's 5 seconds. Nearly. God damn it, I did not need additional damage. Gotta slow enough. Tell the boat to drive a bit. It's like it just wants to drive itself around mid-corner there. I need to grip up and accelerate, and it just doesn't.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
It's probably a back marker. Still blocking sector 3. Sector 3 is, I think, just a straightaway, nothing off the mountain path. I think there's no part in the mountain that actually is sector 3. If I'm not mistaken. I could be very much wrong on that. Hello, car. No one invited you to have... What the fucking fuck? Thanks, you absolute garbage box. Come on. More oversteer for no reason. And I'm up on TC, and the TC just never kicks in, never does anything. Till you're already like 90 degrees sideways. But bruh, when people drove this thing with negative negative toe, like how? This thing just wants to drive itself around on every single corner it can find. It's awful. And I could match these guys in front actually pace-wise if my car stopped trying to murder me. And you just let me drive it. No, it just gets stuck in no man's land because the pace is mid and the car wants to murder me. I've only 11 laps in and there's still at least only an hour 36 remaining. At least something. We'll over sooner rather than later. guys in front has crashed. Question if it's sufficient enough to slow him down for me to catch him. Because the other guys, they are just continuing to pull away. This thing struggles to just get out of that corner. Period. Okay, he's coming in. Another freebie. Yay. Considering everyone has more pace, they might even pass me before the end again. Considering what I did in KL Army. And those guys actually have pace in comparison to me. I was just doing mid-labs at KL Army. We've got the TC up high enough that it actually cuts out of that corner. Whoa, what? Come on, car, please don't murder me when I press the bloody brake pedal. I greased the wall up there a bit. It shouldn't have inflicted significant damage because of the switcher's handling profile over the crest there. Thanks? Yeah, it's only 1%. Why the hell did this thing just suddenly switch handling profile entering the downhill section? Cruz has done his pit stop already and is only 60 seconds behind me. Well, from this position he has to also do another one. He's obviously having pace in comparison to someone like me who's just struggling to get around the circuit without the car deciding to go yeet. There's so much fun battling going on in front of me. It's just, it would be nice if my car had this, like, half a second more pace and I could actually compete, but no. Or just wasn't as murderous and actually let me drive the pace out. Not again. Hello, shitbox, would you kindly go over? You think you can get an actually decent exit out of that corner, and it just isn't the case. The guy was stuck in a complete no man's land. There's 10 seconds ahead, the next guy 10 seconds behind. Because the guys behind me can't keep up, and the guys in front of me just drive away. Fun. You know, I start in the back just to have fun, and it's like... And because I couldn't make it today any earlier. It's not fun to drive a car. You're driving 037s, like, come on. Come on, car, make the corner. What do I get 04 or 3? Okay, it's half a second off the base. Oh, come on, make the corner already! It's like, it switches like 5 times mid-corner between understeer and oversteer there. It's like, it wanted to turn, it didn't want it, it wanted it, didn't turn it. And you just ended up slowly driving to the outside. And neither wanted to let me put the power down, nor let me actually turn. I just wanted to slide a bit. God, I think this is like... It's not the worst I've driven in terms of setups for this thing, but like... This one is probably gonna be one of the most frustrating to drive. Should correct that. This thing is definitely murderous. In enough situations, it's dangerous. Because it will suddenly snap. I'm sort of keeping pace in front, but like I should be closing because they are battling hard and I'm not. Yeah, but like up into the top 10 finally once. Because in GT3 I never get that. Come on. Like I can't win in GT4. I guess I can drive in the top 10 now. I think I need to play some deep rock after this. Just to cleanse myself. Hello there. You've come to... How am I? Alive! I guess frustrated is also a description for current situation. I'm stuck with a car that is performing pretty mediocrely. And also just not liking me either. Like the pace is not great. I'm pretty sure that impacted the Ooh, hello there. Bump. I'm pretty sure that impacted the front left quarter panel and not the right, but the rear. Okay. I didn't qualify. Came in just after. Came in just as qualifying was finishing up. I got at least to do an outlap, and I had a setup already for this car, so at least it's something. But it's. I mean, it's probably better than the default, and it's probably better than the CDA setup, but it's just... What I've noticed when I was actually early in the race fighting with people, they can punch out of corners way harder than me. And it's not the traction control. I actually kicked the traction control up a bit to maybe mitigate this problem. But it just seems that they can put down the throttle mid-corner and be fine, and my car will like... arrive in the corner sideways at times, start kicking out the rear end mid-corner because I start feeding it throttle, or if it starts kicking sideways, I immediately bleed like all my speed that I ever had. This corner has been at times absolute pain. Like a few laps ago I had like 5 changes between understeer and oversteer mid-corner there. It's hilarious. That's a bit of pain. I mean, the race has been so far very clean, but like because of the lack of pace I've just not been able to race anyone because, you know, they're all driving away from me. I got past the first badge because they're slow and because they crash. And that's in part been quite a few of my position gains. Just the cars limping by. Or crashing in front of me. If the crashes weren't, I think I would be at least 4 positions further back. Because they're guys that I just wouldn't have the pace otherwise to pass. This has also resulted in me being precisely 10 seconds behind the next car and 15 seconds ahead of the car behind because the poor soul that is behind me cannot keep up with me. So I'm just in a complete nomad's land right now. Yeah, I mean, this seems to bottom out as well, but just like, whatever. I don't think like that's the major problem here. One of the major problem areas that I could see is like these the exit of the chase and these 90-degree corners here where just everyone has more punch out of them than me.
Losing time to the car in front in sector 2.
Except this time around, apparently I lost time in sector 2 to a car in front. Although they're oddly... with the Porsche. I have a perfect Porsche setup for this track. I genuinely have a perfect setup for this track with the Porsche. When I did the Bathurst 12 hours. Not the RCI one, that setup wasn't good. That's probably worse than this one. In terms of pace, in terms of handling, I think the Porsche setup might be actually better than this. But the Trackilicious 12-hour setup of Nile, I think it was Go setup or something, was the baseline that we used, and yeah, modified it slightly, and that thing ran. It's handled perfectly at every fuel load. It just ran. Heck, it worked even when with dry tires driving through the rain, and it was absolutely on point. Do not ask me how this lap actually is right now coming together. Like, where the hell did I suddenly take half a second? I mean, the thing is, but also like, yeah, with this car here right now, I'm not having any issues on the top of the mountain. Top of the mountain is like not a problem area whatsoever. For the high-speed corners, the car absolutely is rock solidly planted. And it just works.
Well done, mate. That's the best.
A lot of the other corners it does struggle a bit more. Yeah. I mean, that was kind of my experience when I drove the Porsche Cup car here. That thing absolutely refused to work. Yeah, this is more like my Bentley experience. The previous lap was not representative of the Bentley experience. That was absolutely representative. Sudden understeer corner. And it jumping occasionally. And the only problem with bottoming out in this section here is that I occasionally might be flung towards the wall.
Slow car ahead.
I think that's one of the back markers, not actually the top 10 group. Average British moment. I mean, I am considering retiring this car and switching my main in GT3. But it's like, do I go Porsche because it's just you have to get a good setup, otherwise you're in even more pain than this is. Porsche has, if you don't have a good setup, neither pace nor handling. It's just pain. I'm like, do I want to have just pain? No. I want something that works. I can start the engine and the car just works. It doesn't fight me constantly. Like the Maserati, that just works. As absolutely absurd as that is, that car just works. It doesn't. Maybe. Well, I actually roll with the old Porsche. Because as soon as the new Porsche comes out, everybody will drive the new Porsche. And I can just grab the old one. And have fun with it. Without driving a car that everybody else drives. Also, maybe people stop driving the Beamer so I can actually drive that. Because that might actually be the car. The M4 for me. Just been plainly avoiding it because everybody and their mum drives the thing. It's kind of a complicated part with me. It's generic. I don't like driving the same car as everybody else. Has the advantage that I don't get beaten by 4 seconds by some alien who's driving the same car as me. I'm always the fastest in whatever car I pick. Usually, however, also the slowest. There's a bit more pain.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Yeah, MUQU I want to avoid because I've still PTSD from Monza 24 hours. Ferrari, I've driven it once. I liked it at Indy 24 hours, but the thing is that setup is so specialized. Yeah, that's just not gonna happen. I think it's worse than the Porsche in terms of setup. I feel like in general there's just too much pace gain from setups. It just ruins the fun. Because you need to min-max this stuff. And setups do not make any logical sense whatsoever. Ever. You have to literally randomly try things and see what goes faster. Like when you take the rear wing off the Porsche slightly on that perfect setup, because it comes with maxed rear wing on Bathurst. So you're like, okay, I'm going to take a bit of rear wing off. And it's like, you drive 4 corners and suddenly you've lost a 10th. And it's like, it feels exactly the same as with the other rear wing setting, but for some reason the car bleeds time in absolutely minuscule amounts, but it just stacks up to the point that the straight line speed gains are completely nullified. It's absolutely insane in that sense. Maybe I should consider the NSX, although... Well, I had both good experience with the NSX that one time I drove it, but I also had bad experience, so it's like, drove it in a wet Spa. Car was great in practice and qualifying, and then race, it started to dry. and Blanchimont just became completely undrivable. I had to retire because the car just became completely undrivable as the track dried, which is very strange stuff. Because I needed to use 1 gear higher and the car just for some reason suddenly didn't like the corner anymore. Because it wasn't in the correct RPM band and it just didn't like it. Let's track right off. Yeah, I mean the Porsche set for this track has no front wing, max rear wing. All kinds of wacky stuff like that. Well, the RCI setup had max front angle and rear wing. So you end up with... And for some reason just wasn't performing at all. And it wasn't as stable as the other one. Which is quite strange. Because you would expect the no front wing one to handle badly over the mountain, but no, I think it was actually better handling than the other one. I mean, it's been a few months since I drove that race. Yep, min splitter on the Porsche set.
Car on the left. Clear on the
I
left.
can send it to you if you want it. Just to see the absolute... It's like, whatever I touched, it made it worse. It was... And this is what I absolutely do not enjoy. I know setups, I know how to do this stuff, but it's just, it never makes sense. And whatever I touch, you sometimes end up with stuff that you can slightly improve by tweaking it. Sometimes it just doesn't want to do anything, and then when like building something from scratch, when the car doesn't perform at all and does weird shit things because the setup is wonky, I can try changing it, but it just never does anything. Or it just gets worse. It just turns into like... And I also have to spend time practicing, which I really, really do not like. To set up the car. Because you look then at lap times and you just get absolutely mentally destroyed in the process. The thing is, I'm coming from R-Factor 2 logic and this thing makes more sense. The problem is that R-Factor 2 is not as min-maxed as this, or at least the last time I drove there. You could get away with a lot more.
Losing to the car ahead in sector 1.
Could get away with a lot less optimized setups. I think it makes sense. That's why I love the Maserati, it's just it doesn't have enough settings to like make anything good, and the car just works. I run basically the same setup on every track and the car just does it. The car doesn't work its driver in that case. You can so easily on that the car will just hold its slides. You can so easily with just your onboard brake bias adjustments and slight adjustments to your driving, you can control that car so well. you can handle it destroying its rear tires, weird weather decisions, everything. Guys, it's perfect in that sense. In this boat, like, I don't know, if you throw water at it, it probably doesn't work at all anymore. Although I have seen I've driven a Silverstone setup last season with, which had it was way too oversteery. I had way too much oversteer, it was not really drivable, and as soon as the rain hit, the thing got actually drivable. So it's funny stuff. I think the conclusion is that I don't like GT3 racing, I just like driving old sports cars. Big powerful engines. Maybe some aero. That's kind of the fun part of the Maserati. It actually kind of makes sense. You cannot minimize the tow on that car because you otherwise just die. It will actually just murder you if you try to minimize the tow on the thing. It's hilarious in that sense. This car just works. He obviously is subject to the BOP and just the track, even that all works with it. But I mean, you are subject to the BOP with all the GT3s as well. Like, this thing is useless at Suzuka, but like, you bring it to Zandvoort and suddenly you're like, your fortune just completely and utterly changed. You drive, I don't know, any circuit and you're struggling to get into the top 15, but you go to Zandvoort and you're suddenly like top 6. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure my competitors have not suddenly gotten significantly worse. I don't quite believe that. I think it's more a case of
losing time to the car in front in sector 2.
the thing is, I haven't driven a prototype in ages. Maybe on AC, probably the most recent time. But the last time I've driven an LMP2 is like ages ago. I might drive one in the future again. Have to see if I do. Because Loic has come to me with some racing proposals for driving in a GM Le Mans in an LMP2, which I would definitely enjoy probably more than the GTE variants in Alpha Factor 2. No clue what the hell they did to these cars to make them utterly undrivable. They drive like... they are not fun to drive, to say the least. Big contrast to the GT3s, they're half of fun. I mean, I've enjoyed driving the LMP2 at times, past. Although it's Alpha Factor 2 LMP2, so you can slide those like stupid. Produce attack angles are like silly. As long as it's not the the normal LMP3, which is no. Actually, also the Lichten. I think it's also awful. LMP3 in Alpha Factor 2 is not great. I've tried a lot with those cars, but they just... Their chassis are made out of a single piece of rock. So when you hit any curb whatsoever, you just get launched with them. They are awful in that aspect. How much fuel do I need to finish? 102 liters. Need to also start correcting tire pressures. That's a bit fast. Not like I'm giving particularly a care of my lap times right now because it doesn't matter either. Not like I can catch any of the opponents at all. Yeah, in terms of prototypes, I probably enjoyed Group C the most. Or actually that wacky, the... what's it called? The 917 dash 30K? Anyway, the Can-Am killer. That thing has a lot of fun around the Nordschleife. I think it's the most driven, actually, Group C around Alpha K2. Not around AC. The only time I've actually, I think, driven the Group C's in AC was with TC and ABS on, because that was activated on the server level for the Jimmy Broadband event that I drove in. As far as I know, they are not particularly the best BOPs. Yeah. So I did recall actually the name kind of correctly. I think it doesn't have that much power actually. I think it says 700 or so. At least according to AC. And it's honestly like not that hard of a car to drive. It's because of its major power is like as soon as you put the power down, this thing just plants the rear axle and goes, but you have your steering wheel turns into just a suggestion at that point. Like, you have a major understeer with that car if you try to turn while you're on throttle. And twin turbos do not give you that much turbo lag either. In terms of a turbo car, it really isn't like that actually hard to drive. It's rocket ship fast. Like, eye-meltingly fast when you're going like 380 down the Döttinger Höhe, but like... I need to actually correct the tire pressures. To stop chatting. I can only go in... need to go in... latest next time. Because I'm out of fuel.
Running low on fuel. Yeah, to come in.
Mosler. What car was that again? The Mosler. Wasn't that in a car during the early 2000s GT era? I feel like recalling in GTR 2 or something. And here. 34, I think. see.
You're halfway through, keep pushing.
Yep.
Still descending.
Yeah, right. I also want to turn the repairs off. 6 seconds worth of repairs, but I don't think it's gonna make anything. The early 2010s, and it's a GT3. It's the interesting thing with that class. Right, we need to come in now. Else I'm out of fuel. Sure. Right, okay, we have an early pit box. Let's see, how badly did I line up? Actually, pretty well. Pretty decently well. That's not water on there. Right, so they finish off at the front here. We really need to keep the clutch in.
Mandatory stop and start here. Come on, let's go.
Right. I think I might have actually cycled out P13 here, maybe. Have to see. Wasn't paying attention earlier to my positions, but I think I gained a position there. And I've definitely made up ground on the Aston in front, because that number 7 definitely was further away than that. Yeah, I mean, that's my goal kind of, but pace today is not sufficient, I feel like. Well, honestly, if I think about it, this pace is not actually that much slower than the Porsche that I drove. I am capable of getting to the 03s, but rarely. I'm mostly stuck in the 04s. That's... The track did start on fast in the beginning of the session. I'm pretty sure we are on optimum at this point. Fast. Yeah, he's 16 seconds behind P11, which is 6 seconds behind P10. And I'm about 6.5 seconds right now behind him. I think they did a driver swap on the number 7 in front. At least he bled some time over the mountain, as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't mean I can actually close them in. Maybe I can still get my season best finish, I think, of P13. Because I think I haven't finished any higher than like 14th or something this season. Short season, but like it wasn't particularly successful at all. Last season was more successful and had more attendance actually. This race has relatively low attendance. Flag in this sector.
Yellow flag, yellow
Did slow down the guy in front of me. I'm definitely sure the Porsche hasn't changed driver. That's still the same guy in the 911 Porsche. Matching the guy more or less in front. Not really making any gains. Let's see. Tire pressures are a bit better than last stints, they're a bit lower. Although they're undershooting by about as much as they overshot last time, so I don't know. Down the mountain relatively fast, I'm gaining on him there, but like up the mountain I actually lose. And on the straightaway I lose a lot. Jesus, this guy gaps me like half a second just down the straights here. That was Aston. Yeah, that's adding a bit to the pain that this car isn't too fast. Just usual, but like the extent is a bit higher. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in this straight it didn't gap me that much. Relatively stupidly not paying 100% attention, and the car just decides to not really want to make the corner anymore. I mean, maybe he has just a stupidly good exit out of this corner. It's probably gonna help. Okay, I was down to like 4.8. Now it's 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, 5.4, and it's dipping below 5.4 now. It's down to 4.8 now out of the chicane again. Yeah, that he seems to go really good exits out of that hairpin, and he has way more street out and speed on that straight. So the exit that, but yeah, that wasn't particularly a fast exit for me, and he's like 5.3, 5.4, 5.5, 5.6. No, didn't go up to 5.6. Yeah, Yep, the Aston in front, not the Audi in between. I have on my personal overlay, I have a different gap calculation that is using my delta to determine from how far he's in front of me to calculate how calculate based on how long it would take me literally to drive that distance on my best lap. So that thing is so accurate that you can probably measure down to 10th of a second accuracy in terms of changing the gap. Heck, at times like sub 10th down to the thousands. It is very good, but like I haven't. It would take major rewrites of the plugin that I use for the leaderboard to implement that gap calculation there. So it's not the ACC
Yellow flag in sector 2.
gaps. Although the ACC gaps, when you take the sector splits, are the same accuracy probably. Yeah, he's way slower down the mountain than me. It's very noticeable how he cannot go the same pace as me down the mountain. But straight drives away from me massively. Up the mountain, basically same. Neither of us are really making inroads on each other. But down the mountain, he loses like a second there. Oh, come on. Too fast. Yeah, the top of the mountain I was about 5.2 seconds behind, and out of the hairpin I was 4.5 behind. However, that is now changing rapidly upwards. Just under 5 seconds. I will profit a bit once I get into the slipstream of the Audi in front, because it will minimize my problem.
Losing to the car ahead in sector 1.
I've definitely touched the wall a few times today. I think 3 times in total. Grazed it a bit. Yeah, I haven't felt like I got that close recently to the wall. Yeah, you can definitely feel it at times how close you get. Also, I'm sitting on the right hand side of the car. To add additional confusion. Sitting on the right hand side of the car, the FOV is wider than what most people use on a monitor. I mean, I'm riding the curb there, so that gives roughly an idea of how close I get to that wall. Ah, that was such a scruffy run down here.
Yellow flag ahead, be careful.
Wait, that is the Aston. That was the number 7 that I was trying to drive down. And he's in the wall. What I was saying, he was losing time down the mountain. And then he tried to do the hairpin a bit better and failed. Now the Porsche in front actually is the entry into the top 10, but unfortunately 10 seconds up ahead, and I've been keeping that gap stable. So not much in terms of inroads there. What I might need to focus behind, because I'm noticing there's a BMW about 5 seconds behind me. And that might become a threat to me in the near future. Oh yeah! Oh, yeah, top 10 can be forgotten at that point. That guy just did a 2-minute 027. That Beamer just went 2-minute 02. There's just... I'm struggling to... I can't get sub 04 right now, and that guy just went 202. Holy hell. Like, it's just like, yeah. I mean, I can try, but like, this car doesn't have straight line speed, and he's coming for my ass. Brakes, please. Yeah, the Porsche has stepped up the game as well. He suddenly gapped me this lap by a second. I mean, the chance exists that the guy has to do another pit stop, because for some reason he's behind me, which could very much be that he did an early pit stop, which would mean he might not be able to get to the end of the race. And if that's the case, it's at least P11 again for me. We'll have to see. Right now, he's down to 3 seconds, so... We're already running mix 1, there is nothing more this car can do. Considering I'm running already... this thing is running 7 rear wing, by the way, this car. That's not the least the car can do, but like, it's not maxed either. And we're having enough oversteer issues already at times. So I'm not sure I could really lower that anymore. Wait, the beam has dropped back. The beam has suddenly lost ground. Yeah. He's gone. The beamer's gone. I mean, that yellow flag probably was him, actually. I saw the gap suddenly shoot up to like 8 seconds, and then he just... The next time I could look, he was gone. He pushed too hard and died. Dietz is behind me, who's been, I think, sitting constantly at about 8 seconds behind the entire stint so far. I'm barely matching that back marker in front of me. I'm very slowly gaining on him. Dietz went quite a bit faster than me though, so I shouldn't completely dismiss the guy. We're gonna get lapped by the race leader sooner rather than later. He is just under 10 seconds, so. My brain couldn't decide if it wanted to go just over 9 seconds, just under 10, and wanted to do both. Most incoherent rambling ever. That's not great. I'm bleeding time right now. Need to get back down to the lower 4s. Else I'm gonna start losing quite a bit of ground on Dietz behind. That's not how you do that. No 5, like that's how bad it got. The race leader is now behind me directly, 7 seconds. Dietz has actually dropped back. He's now 12 seconds behind. Must have made a mistake. Race leader behind 6 seconds. Unfortunately the Porsche is not quite buckling down. That was too fast. no, no, no. Just if you catch one of the bumps there, you just get sent. That's what just happened. How bad is the damage now? Oh, damage not turned on. I don't see. 8.6 seconds. Another 2 seconds collected. Not like it matters too much. Kids, well, Beat's behind, that's probably more damage than me, and he's sufficiently behind for me. For now, at least. How long do we have? Just over 30 minutes actually still. And Maya is just pulling. Not like close in really on that. It's more of like a question: when does the race leader lap me, and when do I get by this Audi in front? And also this guy has not particularly great ping. He's trying with like 200. Oh, he gets one of my way, thanks. I actually didn't expect that considering how long I've been lapping the exact same lap times as him. I guess he might be aware that his network connection is a bit lacking. Ouch! No! Fuck! Ah! How bad is it? I think at least a second per lap. Oh yeah, when we hit speed, it's... look at it, it's just going up. Ah, for fucking sake, that shit box.
Faster car coming down behind you.
At least I make this corner better. Oh, the mid corner there is awful. It's like the speed there is just like I bleed so much time. Like, come on, could I have just like had a nice race and not get thrown there for no reason? I mean, no mistakes this entire, no major mistakes this entire fucking race, and then...
Clear on the left.
Oh, could you kindly get by? I'm not that difficult to pass. Because I've already lost like 4 seconds on the car behind. I've got clear like half a lap. And there's over 30 fucking minutes on the clock. Come the fuck on. Doesn't make the corner at the top, it bounces weirdly through the bloody runoff area there. All of that completely unnecessary. So utterly bogus. And it's about 16 seconds to the car behind him. Yeah, I'm losing already 2 seconds. I mean, I lost a second through turn 1. Utterly no issues up until that point this stint, and then just suddenly, hey, you get thrown. Oh, come on, you bloody shitbox. Oh, it seems Dietz has made another mistake. He's losing a massive amount of time. 10 seconds? Yeah, he must have dug himself in. This is swinging all directions. I think it's no longer Dean's. Yep. It is Coutinho now behind me, 15 seconds. I'm not sure that's any better for me.
Yellow flag, be careful.
It was an 07. That's just how bad it got. The long straightaways really hurts me now. It's just so long till the finish. It's an utter eternity. How much damage is it actually? 46 seconds. If I come into the pits, change tires, I stand there for 1 16. I get locking actually into this corner now. So far this lap I've lost a second on the car behind. Which, you know, isn't too bad, but like we have this straightaway now. Which, that's bad. Yeah, just the back straight alone costs me a full second. Like, somehow that thing is costing me a full second. The rest of the lap is like 1.85, 1.8 seconds, and then just the back straight is a second on its own. Actually, I won't be... wait, that guy is also gone now. Hold on, the gap is shooting up again. That guy must have pitted. Yeah, he's in the pits. What is happening? He must have not had an accident early in the first turn that needed to now come in to fix the damages. Yeah, the gap is now so wide open, I will finish. This isn't a problem at this point anymore. As long as I don't bin it again. That's a bit of an ask, but like, okay. Oh god, not again. At least this time I just stayed on the brakes and the thing actually slowed down. Just about. Probably gave the MUQU driver a heart attack in the process. But yeah, 53 seconds behind is the next car. It is still continuing behind, or at least it seems like it. Might change. No, it isn't continuing anymore, it is 10 earlier. I think that was the Aston that I was driving down early in this stint. I think it's that guy that buried his nose into a wall early on. He needs to gain 2 seconds per minute, so about 4 seconds a lap to catch me at the current rate. I mean, I'm driving slow, but like, I mean, this lap was actually slow enough that he couldn't do that. Let's see. At least I don't have a meatball, which means I can just continue. Oh yeah, this doesn't actually include suspension repairs, my minute 16 pit stop. It's a minute 19 if I would repair my suspension as well. And yes, I can turn the tires off if I actually need to do this stop. To save a lot of time. Speed up the repair process a lot. But there's Dietz now behind me. The guy who was would have nearly soon passed me is now behind me a lap. Guys, you've done goofed up, I would say. Just go by.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
There's enough damage on this thing. The thing is, the guy behind is also not closing that much in. Time is just taking up.
Faster car coming down behind you.
That is P2 right now. 303 NSX.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Reduce my straight line losses.
Faster car coming down behind you.
Insert your NSX here for a furry gift. I don't know why. Why the NSX specifically?
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Now I have major clear behind. Carbon position. Well, I think the NSX can bin it and still finish in front of me. After all, he has a lap on me, so... Heck, even the Porsche has to bin it pretty hard for him to lose the position to me. He must pit for me to have a chance. Heck, a drive-through isn't enough for that guy.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
I've done that already. Actually, I haven't spun, I've only hit the wall. Very violently though. I mean, the gap to the Porsche in front is now 40 seconds. The gap behind is 43 seconds. This very much illustrates me being the back, having fallen off the back of the train of people who are actually half competent. Because I think the Porsche is the last one of the cars that hasn't had an accident. Where somebody has killed the marker boards here, thanks. It's taken a long time. Like an hour 40 before somebody murdered them, but they did get murdered. It's a rule of nature. That those things do not survive. Actually, number 7 and number 1 Aston are battling for P12 about 40 seconds behind. These guys are very close together. But effectively what has happened for me is that I'm in the no man's land between the people who haven't crashed and the people who have crashed and pitted. But being the person who has crashed but not pitted. Down to 15 minutes. It's a slog, but we're getting there. I mean, I'm missing out on top 10 again. It's not like prior to the hit I would have gotten it. Not again, not again. So, approaching the 10-minute mark. Yeah, down to nearly 30 seconds. Should be fine, but like, don't know till you know. How many laps are actually remaining in this race? 5 probably. If not 6. They must completely wipe out. I think the gap in front of that Porsche is quite large as well. Yeah, he is 18 seconds behind the next car. Now there's a shorter gap between P9 and P8, but like...
Yellow flag in sector 1.
They need to wipe out very hard. To be dropped behind me. Although, I mean, if they are forced to pit and do repairs, then it's still enough. However, if they can limp on, then it's a bit of an ask. And I mean, anyone would probably try to limp on. And we're starting to get into the range where you might, even if you get a meatball flag, just continue on and finish with it. Because you can get to the end. Right now that isn't quite given. With too many laps. Well, we're getting there, I would say. Gap behind has gone now under 30 seconds. Still, this is significantly easier than what I expected to be passed by two people. Instead, those two decided. One of them decided to crash, the other one, I think, pitted? Not sure if they crashed. Whatever, doesn't matter. We suddenly had over nearly 60 seconds of gap behind that. Was a massive help in terms of getting to the end. I was thinking of some event where I could test different GT3 cars out. I think I forgot which one it was. I'm starting to feel really tired, probably because this is not particularly engaging at this point. I don't know, my body, if I'm only as like start getting slightly bored, my body is like, oh well, but it's time to sleep. You're standing, you're not pumping adrenaline like crazy, you can sleep. Actually, it would be interesting to see my pulse at this point. probably going low when I start getting sleepy. And usually it's absolutely stupid high. Unhealthily high. Would have been a nice addition probably to the 24-hour. Yeah, there isn't particularly a reason to stay awake. Except maybe I should. Because I need to get up like at 7 or 8 in the morning, so it makes sense to actually go to bed early. And it's not like I got much sleep last night either. Went to bed at like, I don't know, 4. Woke up at 8. And while I tried getting like some sleep in between, it's just like, nah. Wash the dishes, vacuum the room. Get an hour of sleep. Get the groceries. Another hour of sleep. I will have a, I need to check with my times, how the times on the RCI leaderboard are doing. Maybe I need to also check that tomorrow evening, but I've been so far sitting there in a good enough position for me to not bother doing another run. Like 20 or something. And I mean, if they start doing a second split, they might just split like 30-30 or something. And then I'm probably in the danger zone of dropping to the lower split. And maybe that's not the worst thing. They can actually win in the lower split. Good boy, ASMR. Way to sleep. Danger note of the Bentley is not too aggressive, so you can probably actually sleep to it. Yeah, I'm like okay. It's actually definitely silent. I think the race leader will start another lap before the end of this. Okay, there's somebody behind me now. Yeah, that's P4. He has about 10 seconds to the next car behind. But we don't have to panic and get out of his way. Yep, as I said, we have one more lap to go after this one. That means I'm not gonna let the guy by before we... I guess he can pass me on the straights effectively. I mean, you know, the male fantasy of like some underground Japanese drifting video on one hand with some funk over it, and on the other side is you're a good boy. Well, it'll take probably too long for me to find that meme. I don't know if the description was good enough. Nice. 108 laps of fuel remaining. We should get to the end of this point. Gap behind has dipped underneath 20 seconds.
Neither has finished the race.
This is a bit. I think this is the Superman Aston that started on the back row with me. Maybe, not too sure.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Yeah,
So just a few more laps.
that is actually that car. That finished. That started actually behind me because they got themselves disqualified during qualifying. I don't know if they did it intentionally to start from the back or some other reasons. They are running P19, and I think this is the second time I've lapped them. So there's that. There's like a slight difference in performance. At least the second time if I haven't lapped them more time with them in the pits. Lapped them the first time I think when they were within the first 10 laps they were off here in the grass. I came by. So alright then. Surviving this by about 14 seconds.
Good job. You did the best you could. Take it easy in the 8th lap.
Let me just straight head for the paddock. And then deliver this thing to a wrecker. How did tires do actually throughout the stints? Hello, but you can't leave. Thanks. So tires. Light graining on most of the tires on the first set, and only light graining on the front left on the second set. Probably in part because half of the stint I was driving with an utterly destroyed car, so there is that. Almost top 10, yeah. Story of my life. Almost. Almost winner, almost top 10. Almost everything. But yeah, I mean, we will have the Maserati series on Monday. That will definitely happen. As long as they don't decide like, oh, we go only for 130 cal split and you've just been pushed out because there's a bunch of aliens deciding to do laps. And you haven't done like the most perfect hot lap ever. Where's the pre-quali standings? How far down am I? 17th. So that hasn't changed much. I mean, when I put the lap in, I think I was 13th, and now I'm 17th. And there's 3 people who haven't actually signed up, who have laps faster than me. So there's that. There's 36 people who have put a lap in at all, with the slowest at 2:15. Top 30 is 2:12.5. I'm sitting with an 11.5. Top 10 is sub 2:11. And if you want the fastest time, you need a 2:09.5. Which is absurd. Is gone by a guy who hasn't signed up. And P2 is a 2:10.11. Yeah, it's, that guy just went like half a second faster than the fastest guy. That is absolutely absurd. Yeah, Maserati Cup with the RCI guys, that is something. That is so scary because I will be beaten by a bunch of people in the same car as me, but also might result in me actually not performing too terribly because it's, well, I do not the car, but that's the Maserati. Right. Yeah. I mean, RCI is Alien Central, so it's not too surprising. Stare. Why are you staring? Are you thinking I'm an alien? No. Not even close. Okay, actually, I've been serving as we have aliens at home, the aliens at home, and it's me. I think this is... What is this? This is the Racer 604, not 604, it's the driver 61, I think it is. Wherever it is. Mainly talks about, oh yeah. Right. But yeah, as I said, like, I've been serving as fill-in alien in the endurance races that I've recently taken. Like, definitely I've served as the alien for the Bathurst race with the Trackilicious guys, and for the ACSS. I mean, they've changed their name, they're now SimRacing.gp League, so it's a bit easier. But that, I think 6-hour race at the Glen, I served there also as an alien in GT4. And I think there I was significantly more an alien than actually at Bathurst. Like, when you can just drive back a full lap in like 2 hours, that's just a bit absurd. Just for sheer pace. And utterly annihilating the rest of the competition in the process. That's alien stuff. But it's mainly because the competition just wasn't there. Not because I was fast, it was because the others weren't fast. And it's very irritating when that happens. To me, at least. Because I expect people to be faster than me. At least one. Not me to drive circles around. I've got some acceptable pace, I would describe it. I'm not slow. But I'm upper midfield. I can make people very much look terribly. The problem is that the absolute massive skill gap you have in sim racing, where you have the fastest guys and you have the slowest guys, and you just have 10 seconds between them. You have just absolutely absurd gaps between the fastest and the slowest guys. And if you're new to sim racing, I know you aren't, but like, if you're new to sim racing, you just head in and like there's people going 10 seconds faster than you. Yeah, I see this as a problem. This is a severe problem. When I have have issues with like feeling like my pace is utterly bad because there are people just way faster than me even. Like, what do people think? You think I'm like out of this world when they encounter them? It's just, that's surreal. That is, I mean, granted, some of that stuff is also down to like, yeah, I mean, I race a lot. Like, I've just so much racing experience that like I expect to be better. I've wasted enough time with this. I would like to be better. It's like, meh. Although I'm not investing the insane amount of hours to min-max this stuff, and that's, I think, bleeding me time with the setups and stuff on that front. Can go a lot quicker if you invest those hours into making a good setup. Or at least it seems to me really like that at this point again. Like, when I started with ACC, I felt like, oh, everybody has just good setups, and I don't. I had to, like, nah, this isn't quite the case. I think just the BOP of the... Turned out more or less it was, in large part, the BOP of the KTM being shit. That was one of the big contributors of that problem, the KTM BOP being garbage. But... otherwise, it was also me just not being quite there, and... yeah. And then it's... I've switched over to being like, yeah, this isn't quite as much setup dependent, and then I'm like, yeah, GT3 is definitely setup dependent, no questions asked. Like, Jesus Christ. This is setup dependent as all hell. Yeah. So, like, if it's an issue of me, like, I end up having so much free time, but I waste it all in doing nothing. Oh well, before this gets absolutely sappy and stuff, I just end this. I will be back on, I think Monday is the first round of the RCR Maserati Challenge, if I know my stuff correctly. Yep, Monday, 8 PM Central European time, starts the practice session for the first round of the Maserati Cup. 45-minute practice, 15-minute qualifying, and 1 hour race with 1 mandatory pit stop with 1 liter of fuel required. Meaning there is no requirement actually to change tires at the pit stop, which makes it highly interesting. That is very interesting at that point. After that would be Donington, Kyalami, Sandford, and Laguna Seca. So, no really great tracks for the Maserati, frankly. Maybe Sandford. I think Sandford is half decent with the Maserati, but I'm not too sure. And Silverstone is one of the best tracks. So Silverstone is a good track. Sandford is good. Donington is shit. Kyalami is meh. And Laguna Seca I don't think is that great either. So yeah, that's gonna be that series. I'm also needing to still consider my... Oh, I'm not even signed up into SGP. Well, I think that's probably gonna be cancerous to sign in. Oh yeah, that's gonna be cancer. Can't forget it. That's gonna literally ask me to log into Steam, and I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna put up with this. Unfortunately, like, this is the end of the Trackilicious series. It's just the last round. So the Saturday series is just gone again. But I will be back into a Saturday series as far as I know. It's just not gonna be the Trackilicious series. 2-man series. Except if they bring it back, right? Which they may, but like what is the words? The amount of people participating dropped off significantly for the last round. So, I don't know. Maybe they won't bring it back, whatever. I'm probably, however, gonna do Track EU's VTLM series. And that will be vaguely interesting to see how fast I go. Because those were the guys that I slapped around when I drove the 4 hour. So, that's gonna get vaguely interesting when I... Not VTLM. VTLM was actually a drove last week, but like the what is it called? Their anyway, their GT series that runs Saturdays. Anyways, that's that. And obviously, Broken Bones will finish off next week with the final round of Indy. I'm actually in a shot for the P2 in our championship. Not for winning it anymore, but I'm pretty good in shots for P2. However, there's a bunch of fast guys that have regularly finished in front of me who are, well, let's just say either matched with me in points, basically. There's like a 4-way tie, nearly. They're separated by like 6 points or so. It's nuts. It's very close, and I'm only really there because I've just finished and attended all the races and not had a terrible result in them. I've just had averages. Like with a single podium finish and like 2 P4s. Getting up there, but like they reward just having a high average finishing rate, there's not much step down from P1 to the lower positions, which is probably why I'm decently doing well. Right. Okay. Good night.